Well, the last time you were here, we were talking about the Young Thug case. And ultimately, he got off with a plea deal. I mean, he pled guilty, but he got time served and I think 15 years probation.
Yeah. That's still 15 years probation.
Yeah.
Parole is different.
Well, they just tried to violate him just recently
over tweets that
the
had nothing
tweet
to do
about
with
the
him.
little baby situation that I talked about. He basically called out one of the investigators, said the dirtiest in the DA office.
Mm-hmm.
The DA office filed a motion that said this violates his probation. And the judge ultimately said it doesn't, but he should be careful on social media moving forward, which he should.
Yeah. But still, you gonna send a nigga back to prison for some work? Y'all act like he said, oh yeah, we finna blow this shit up, we finna kill everybody, terrorists, like it was a terrorist act or something.
Yeah.
He really said nothing and y'all was about to really terminate his. So how that work is the same way it was with me. I had 15 years, I got it cut to 10, and then that 10 cut into 5. So once I got in trouble and they took the probation back, I went to jail with 10 years over my head. But it was like drug laws was passing and shit, so it ended up cutting it. But if it wasn't for those drug laws, I would have been still sitting in prison for a violation for 10 years. So it's like, that's the same shit that can happen to Thug. Like, they can really sit back and try to do anything and put anything on him and send him back and reimpose his sentence. And he would go to prison with that 15 years over his head. Like, that's fucked up, though.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but you're on probation. And you should be acting like you're on probation. Probation doesn't mean you beat the case. It means you're technically in jail with the same set of laws, except you're doing your sentence outside the prison. Which means that, for example, if you get pulled over, right now, they need probable cause to search your car. But if they see you're on probation...
They don't. That's the first thing they ask you on probation or parole.
Yeah.
Because you really don't have no rights.
We're straight in the car.
Yeah.
I don't consent. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They go to your house. They can search your house whenever they want. You don't have to have a search warrant. You don't have to get a judge to sign off on it. You can't act like your life is back to normal. So I'm saying a tweet dissing someone from the same prosecution that you just got the probation from, you got a long time left on this probation. You probably shouldn't be tweeting anything like this at all.
He probably don't even understand the seriousness of probation.
And I don't think he does.
Because I know I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
So you messed around too?
That's how I went to... You got to think, when you first met me, I was on probation. First lab interview, probation, all that. So I traveled without permission. I'm some guns and videos, everything that I did was against my stipulations. I was supposed to have been in the house at a certain time, all type of shit. So they just let it build up and was like, oh, no, you did all this shit and we just going to send you back to prison because you didn't care. So it's like, they really need to set the stipulations like, no, if you take this probation, nigga, you can't do nothing. Like, you basically on house arrest.
Yeah.
But outside, you just in the world arrest, but you don't really have no rights. Like, you can't do nothing because they basically telling him he can't say shit. It's freedom of speech. They taking what the fuck those amendments?
But that's part of the plea deal, though. That's why, he even regrets taking the plea deal because Yak Gotti ended up beating his case.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then it's like, you take the plea deal, these other niggas beat the case, and it's like, fuck, but I know he just was ready to come home. He had been sitting all that time. He probably didn't even read over shit. He was like, I can go home today. I can go home today. I can go home today. I don't give a fuck. They said 100 years probation. I can go home today. Come on, Tom, come on. All right.
Yeah.